you recall my video about intimidating the door, you will recall that I said Johann died in the final battle against the sorcerer. How that came to be, though, is something I purposely left vague. Until now. First, some background. My party screwed up on our first quest. That's all. No, not good enough for you, I kid. On our first quest, Varis, Johann, and Emile came upon a small room at the back of this cave. We investigated it, and by come upon and investigated the room, I mean we bashed down the door. An unlocked door. An ancient unlocked door that got turned to dust as Johann, Varis, and Emile kicked it down into nothingness. The room itself was strange. A thick layer of dust covered everything. Candles sat in a circle around a small totem on a pedestal. And the first thing we do? Emile plucks a candle from this circle. The dust at our feet begins to stir, and of many, many poor wisdom rolls, Johann pulls free the totem from atop the pedestal. These actions fill the room with a surge of infernal fire that rains from the ground and the ceiling. Our characters brace and prepare, looking around in shocked confusion. As the streams of fire die down, we lay eyes upon a creature that we've never seen before, and one that we'll become all too familiar with. An archdevil, clad in a white business suit, and bearing a broad smile upon his face. We all brace for the fight, the best way that level 1s can anyway. This sharply dressed devil chuckles at us and shrugs. Oh, don't worry. I'm not here for the likes of you. I merely have a contract to fulfill. Though I assure you, this world is indeed going to burn. The holder of this contract will make sure of that. The devil smugly says, passing eyes over each of us, leaving a lingering glance on Emile before vanishing. The impetus was set in motion. At the behest of the guildmaster that sent us on our first quest, we were tasked to cross the land, the kingdom of the dwarves and elves, dragons, tritons, Herakakra, meeting 3 genasi along the way, daughters and granddaughters of ancient heroes, a goddess that guided us for a small part of our journey and left a very important parting gift for our hero Emile, and finally, the devil's brother. We arrive at the scene of the confrontation. Heroes and adventurers from across the land are summoned to the battlefield via portals and teleportation from the guildmasters that we've met along the way. We are tasked the Sorcerer's Tower in the Infernal Republic. Johann and the others battle their way through demons summoned by the sorcerer, intimidate the door, and ascend the steps to face this vile foe. A vile foe that we never asked the name of. But that really didn't matter, because as soon as we reach the top of the steps, we aren't going to fight him. We were always intended to be the stopgap, and upon entering the room, we hear the sorcerer yelling at the devil.
Malthazar, you lied to me! This is ridiculous!
I only did what was contracted of me, and with that, I bid you adieu. That was the last words that the devil said before teleporting away. Complaining into himself, the sorcerer sets forth a final minion at us. A Glabrazu. Roll initiative. 16, 13, 15, 9. 9? That's 4 dice rolls. How's that possible? The 9 belonged to one of our genasi friends that we made on our adventure. He's a story all to himself. Our DM explains the attack order. Varis, Johann, Glabrazu, Emile, Inferno. Yeah, he's the genasi. Bet you can't guess what his elemental heritage is. Now, as a party of level 7s, this fight was going to be a ridiculous challenge. I'm gonna lay on him a divine smite with Frostbrand. Our paladin shouts. Frostbrand is a magical sword we found. Damage is rolled, damage is dealt, Glabrazu stands tall. I'm gonna attack with my sword, and then extra attack. Johann shouts, swinging his blade around with fervor. Damage is dealt, but no dice. It still stands. Glabrazu grapples our monk, who complains and struggles to get free. Then it casts Power Word Stun on Inferno, who fails his save. Emile eventually breaks free on his turn, but that was his action. Varis strikes again, another Divine Smite, but it fails to beat the beast. Johann shouts to his ally, "Stop wasting your magic, he's just the opener!" Before unloading with further offense. Glabrazu shrugs that off like it was nothing. Its turn rolls around again. It attacks Emile, does damage on one hit, misses its second, then its third. Angry and confused at how this monk seems to be dodging all of its attacks, it turns its attention to the paralyzed Inferno. Because of this paralyzation and stunning, our DM ruled a coup de grace, and thus Inferno's head is clipped free of his body and rolls along the ground. Emile, who was closer to the genasi that we met because he had eyes for the female wind genasi that traveled with them, lets out a scream of anger, his body becoming ensnared by divine energy, and he readies his ultimate attack. A divine punch, a gift from the goddess we traveled with, after she made Emile an acolyte of herself.
I'll never forgive you!
He throws the punch forth. No roll to hit, no saving throws, just damage. A lot of damage. Glabrezu takes 127 damage on that single roll, and is thrown off the castle as if he never existed. Damage is done to the environment. The building shakes. The trade-off to this damage, though, is that Emile just lost all of his ki and gained a level of exhaustion. He was practically worthless. The sorcerer smirks from his throne and chuckles in arrogance. Well, that was certainly something. Had you not been against me, I may have offered you a swift demise, or position of servitude. As if any of us would serve you. Johann, as a paragon of goods, snickered. Don't say I offered you nothing, then. After that performance, heal your wounds. I want to see him do it again. The sorcerer replies, pointing to Emile. He didn't know that Emile couldn't get his ki back in the short time he gave us, nor would he give us any more. But alas, Varis and Emile were healed, at Johann's request and expense, as he handed them all of his potions, leaving himself injured and vulnerable to the final battle. The sorcerer rose from his throne, the injured Johann standing tall beside his allies. This was the hill that he was willing to die upon. Varis shoots his shot early, throwing his lightning of javelin towards the sorcerer's head as he stands up. It explodes with magical lightning at the command word, and it shoots toward the sorcerer. The javelin shoots wide as the sorcerer mocks us, and then he explodes in a blinding light. All three of us must make a con saving throw. Johann succeeds, taking 23 damage. Varis and Emile also pass, but we're already damaged before we can even attack. Emile, stay back! Use your sword only if he comes for you! Johann takes point, as he usually does, and we roll initiative. The dice god smiled on us in this battle, as we all went before the sorcerer. Johann attacks once, misses. Twice, it hits, but alas, it's not a lot of damage.
I missed my first attack, damn it!
Johann curses, looking at the sorcerer. Varis, our paladin, walks beside Johann and tries to divine smite. He misses, and the sorcerer chuckles at him, shrugging off his extra attack too.
Ah, so your friend there's useless. How about you just eradicate him then?
The sorcerer casts Dominate Person on Johann, who, thanks to his dumb stat of wisdom, marches to the sorcerer's orders. Varis sees this and tries to stop him with a shield bash. But alas, Johann was the mountain of defense for the team, and his ridiculous armor class avoids any damage. Emile watches in terror as his towering ally marches forth. There was nothing that he could do. Johann draws his sword. I roll. It's a hit. 13 damage. Extra attack. Another hit. More damage. Emile's bleeding and battered at this point. He stumbles back, injured, confused. Action surge. Roll. Hit. 8 damage. Emile nearly collapses. He's battered, confused, and he has no idea what he can do. Varis rushes to Emile's aid, and he tells his ally to retreat. Unfortunately, Varis runs into Johann. There was nothing that they could do. He had to eye up his ally, and Emile knew that he could fight too.
I'm sorry!
Emile says, attacking Johann with his sword, snagging a hit that nearly topples his ally's HP. It was dangerous. The sorcerer smirks again, and yells, Fireball! And he casts it between the enthralled Johann and Varis. Emile makes the save, and our DM rules that he gets blown out of the room as he was close to the door. Varis and Johann, though, they take damage. They collapse, unconscious.
The weak one escaped, huh? Oh well.
The sorcerer smirked, approaching our downed frames. He manifests a sword, plunging it deep into Varis's back. That is one. He strolls away, walking toward Johann. Then the building shakes. Cavalry arrives in the form of those descendants of the legendary heroes that we were talking about. Chain lightning! The sorceress on our side casts. She rolls high enough on the throw to surprise and kill the sorcerer, and the unconscious Johann at his feet. I died. Varis died. But Emile lived, and across the land he is heralded as one of the new heroes. Elsewhere in the world, a blonde preteen mourns, or rather waits, for her lost brother's return, and a half-elf smiles at the return of her own brother. But alas, theirs is a story for a different day. Emile now finds himself resting and watching the sunrise over a grateful kingdom, while the archdevil Malthazar disappears. But for how long? Until next time, guys, I'll be seeing ya. Stay good people, and don't forget to be awesome.